Hello everyone. In this session, we will be studying about how to create your own custom widgets. But before heading on towards that, I would like to say that just fill the Google form that is currently available in the live chat. Uh, we will be forming a WhatsApp group of all of you, in which we will be having some doubt clearing meets and some chill meets, in which we will be sharing some more insights upon building great Flutter apps. And We are very sorry for the poor stream quality of the last session. It was due to some network issue, but in today's session, I will just give a quick overview of what we did in the last session. So yeah, so the last session was about using the common widgets. So uh, if you are creating a Flutter mobile application, either you will follow material UI guidelines, which are used to create Android apps, or you would follow human interface guidelines, which are used for developing iOS apps. So, and the structure of your code would be like the material app widget will be at the root of the widget tree, and then the individual screens or pages of the app will be represented by the scaffolds. Okay, and similar, I mean, okay. So on the iOS side, in, in uh, for material app, we have Cupertino app, and as a replacement of material app, we have Cupertino app, and as a replacement of scaffold, we have Cupertino page scaffold. And the thing is, if you want to use a iOS specific widget inside your material app, then yeah, you can do that. There's no restriction. So yeah. So how will you run a return a where will you return a widget that will create this app, right? So there is this run app function which takes a parameter widget, and in this you can just pass the material app widget, and just call this function in the main method, then you will be ready to go. So either you can choose Android Studio or VS Code to develop Flutter apps. That's up to you whether you want to use Android Studio or VS Code. So and yes, uh, in this session we covered some basic widgets. But if you want to learn about all the widgets, then you can just head on to this website where you will be provided with the information about all the widgets. So I will just go through some widgets that we covered in the last session. So first is a container widget. A container widget has specific dimensions, and you can give a specific color, a shadow, a border radius, and a specific shape to it. A sized box is a widget in which you can give only two parameters, which are height and width. And yeah, you can have a child as a widget to sized box and container both. Okay. And there is a center widget. It centers its child within itself. No more explanation needed. And then there is a padding widget, which gives a padding to its child. Then we have a column widget. If you want to display more than one widgets in a column, then you can use a column widget. It has a parameter known as children, in which you can pass an array of widgets. Similarly, you have row widget. If you want to display widgets in a row, then you can use a row widget. So yeah, I gave you homework about learning Listview widget in the last class, last session. And then we have a single child scroll view widget. It just takes one parameter, which is a child, and that widget will be converted into a scrollable widget. So if you pass a column or a row inside a single child scroll view widget, then you can just scroll inside the column or the row. And then we have a text widget. It is used to display a text. It takes a parameter string which will be displayed as a text on the screen. Then we have image. There are a few constructors for the image. You can just go through each of them. And then there are some icons. So for example, you may be you may have seen a star icon for bookmark, or a specific share icon, and all of that, or a add photo icon. All of that can be simply created using icon widget. Then we have a card widget. It is used a lot in material design. I mean, basically it is like a little bit elevated, rounded corner panel. And then there is a list style widget. Uh, you may have seen the contacts in the WhatsApp contacts list, right? They are in a list style widget. And they can have a leading widget, which in case of WhatsApp is a photo of the contact, and then there is a title parameter in which you can in WhatsApp we have a name of the contact, and in the subtitle we have the last message and so on. Okay. And then we have three types of buttons. The first is this elevated button. This one is the outline button, and this one is the text button. And then we have an app bar widget. Uh, usually, uh, usually it is used in the scaffold app bar property, which places the app bar at the top of the screen. And then we have a floating action button. You may have seen that in your contacts app there is a button at the bottom right, which has a plus icon, and on tapping that button you can add a contact. So that button is known as a floating action button, and you can give this widget as a scaffold parameter floating action button. Yeah, and floating action button should be used for positive actions such as create, share, or negate. Okay. And yeah, so if you found these widgets interesting, then don't forget to binge on Widgets of the Week on Flutter channel on YouTube. So Widgets of the Week is a playlist available on the Flutter channel in which there is explanation of various widgets that are used in Flutter. And yeah, so this is not something. Okay, so this presentation is ended. So let's move on to this session slides, creating your custom widgets. So widgets in Flutter are of two types. The first one is a stateless widget, and the second is a stateful widget. So a stateless widget is a widget in which the state doesn't change. And yeah, I mean it sounds very uh, abstract, I mean, right? But the thing is, while we were coding, you would understand the exact difference between a stateless and a stateful widget. And the other stateful widget is dynamic. I mean, f- yeah, I mean, you can see the examples of stateless widgets, which are icon, button, text. I mean, they don't change unless the widget redraws itself. So, and on the side of stateful widgets, we have widgets like checkbox, radio, slider, inkwell, form, and text field. So, inkwell widget will be something new to you, but yeah, you must have saw this checkbox, radio, and slider widgets, right? So that's all about stateless and stateful widgets. So just let's create a new project in Android Studio. The last time I showed you of the process of creating a widget using the command line, but yeah, I mean you can even create it using Android Studio or VS Code. In Android Studio, you simply have to go to File, then New, and then New Flutter project, and then this new Flutter project option will appear only if you have installed the Flutter extension to your Android Studio, right? So on this, we will just click on next, and then here I will give the name of the project. So to make you understand about stateless and stateful widgets, I will create a notes app. Okay, and yeah, I can give a description to this app, a simple notes app, and even give organization name. For example, I want to give this as an organization name, and then I can select the platforms that this app will run on. Okay, and then finish. Then I want to open this in this window. So yeah, this is the um, so this is the predefined Flutter application. I mean the counter app that is already made. So let's just run it. And yeah, meanwhile, just let me give you a tour of this emulator. So this is an emulator. I mean, we will run this app on this emulator. So by the time we are waiting to build this app, let me just go through something interesting. So we have some code labs which you can follow to learn more about Flutter. So these are some code labs, and so yeah, this and this is the in same series, and this is something different. But this MDC 101 to 104 is an interesting code lab in which you will be learning about creating this Shrine application. Um, I will just show you the Shrine application. So this is it. So in this, you can just select anything that you want to buy, and this will be displayed in your cart. I already added a lot of things, so yeah, just let me clear the basket and then select some things. For example, maybe I want this hat, right? Um, and then yeah, this is a monsoon season, so I want the rainwater tray. So this is the things that I want. So upon clicking this basket icon, so I can see all the things that I just selected, and then total is displayed here with a subtotal, delivery, and tax, all that. And so yeah, you can even just browse just accessories or just clothing, etc., and you can even log out, and then you can just type anything as a username and password, and then clicking on next, you will just get into this. Okay, so yeah, I mean you will learn how you would create this application using this code lab. So whoever are filling that Google form, I will just share the link of this code lab with them. So yeah, if you also want to learn about how you would create an application like this, then just fill that Google form. So yeah, our counter app has been made. So this is a default Flutter app in which upon clicking this floating action button, the uh, count here will increase. So let me just remove all the code and just start. Okay. So first of all, I will import the material library, and then I will create a main function. Just like C++, Dart also starts executing from the main function. So yeah, keeping that. And then as said, I will just pass a material app widget in a run app method. And yeah, one more thing to do is that there is some test code written by default. I mean, which would give you this error. So I would just suggest that you simply comment this out. Then yeah, that error is gone. Okay. So what I would like to do is instead of mentioning a home here and then just mentioning a scaffold, I just want to create a custom widget which would represent this scaffold. So what I can do is, suppose I want to create a stateless widget. So I will just start typing stles. Then it shows me this tab, which is a new stateless widget. So simply I will just press enter, and then here I will just write the name of the widget. Suppose I would like to name it as home page. So yeah, that's how you would create a stateless widget. It's that easy. You don't need to worry a lot. And then here I would return a scaffold through it. And then in the home, just like I will just mention the scaffold widget, I will mention the home page here, and yeah, that will work. Okay, so let us just show something on the scaffold. Um, I would like to show this text. This is home page. Okay, then I will just rerun this app. Okay, yeah. So this is home page is displayed here, and I can see this debug banner here, which I can just remove like this. There is this property debug show check banner in material app, and I will just simply put it as false. So yeah, maybe I will have to rerun this app. Yeah, it is gone now. So um, okay, so let me show you how you would create a okay, so you would be confused that this custom widget just represents a page in your app, page or screen in your app, but that is not the case. I mean, a widget can represent anything, even a single button which you want to have a specific color or size or a text, etc. So I will just show you how you will create a stateful widget now. So to create a stateful widget, what you have to do is just you have to write htful, and then you will be given this new stateful widget, and then press enter, and then write the name of the widget. Suppose I want to name this widget as style. So yeah, that's how that's how you would create a stateful widget. And then in this widget, I will return a list style, which would have a title. Let's say this is a tile widget, a tile stateful widget. Okay, so to use a stateful widget in this home page, I will just simply uh, what should I do? Okay, so in this center's child parameter, I would pass this tile widget. Okay, then I would save. Okay, so this is a list tile which is shown, and yeah, the text is being shown here. This is a tile stateful widget, and suppose this is not looking too great. So if you want to just enclose it within a card widget, then all you have to do is just press alt enter in Android Studio, or press control and full stop in VS Code. This would show you some options. So select this first option, wrap with widget, and then just write here a card. Then when you will save it, you can see that there is a little bit of elevation, and the corners are a bit rounded. So yeah, I just described you about this card widget here. Yeah. So this is it. This is the card widget. Okay, so you would be thinking that yeah, there is one. This is just used one time, right? But I want to display this widget many times. So what I can do is I will just remove this center. So what I would do now is I would use a Listview widget to display a list of these stateful widget. Okay, so yeah,
Okay.
I think maybe Shri Joya has joined us. Yeah,
Yeah. Hello.
okay.
Was busy with some other work, so yeah, I joined a bit late. No problem.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, we asked you to learn about Listview as a homework, but we will just show you here. So if you want to have a list of this stateful widget, then what you have to do is just write list view, and there is a builder construction in which you have to pass a item builder. Uh, so yeah, what I can do is so yeah, it just gave me the code. Okay, and in this I will just return this tile widget which I created.
Hmm.
Yeah, and then I will specify an out item count. In this case, I want to pass 20. Okay, there is this. Okay, and suppose I want this file is not looking too great. So if I want to format this, then I will just simply right click and then format code. So this will format this code, and then I will just press save, and then yeah, this is a list of the style stateful widgets, which are exactly 20 in number. Now, suppose you want to uh, give a specific text to each of these widget. So what you can do is uh, inside this tile widget, you can I mean inside this constructor of tile widget, you can just get a string and then display it as the title's text, right? So, uh, just let me convert it to a stateless widget.
What are we trying to do right now?
So I mean, I just showed them about how to create a stateful and a stateless widget. And now I am showing how they would use this style widget in a list view widget to just create a list of the style widgets. And now what I would like to show you is that how you can take a parameter in this tile widget, a string parameter that you can use it here as a title and display that. So yeah. So if you want to have a parameter inside a stateful widget, then simply just in the class that extends the stateful widget, just write the parameter. Um, for me, it is I just want to have a string parameter, and yeah, I would just write is that this is a required parameter here, and yeah, so this is not a constant constructor anymore. So I would remove this constant keyword. And as you would see, this is a named parameter thing. So inside this curly bracket, as I just showed you in this Dart basic session,
Yeah.
right?
It was in the last session also.
Yeah. So if I want to use this text parameter, then uh, in this state in this class that extends this state, I would simply write widget and then dot and then the name of the parameter that you want to get. So in this case, I want to get this text parameter. Sorry, yeah, I just wrote widget.txt, and so this will give me an error that a named parameter txt is required. So I will add this name parameter, which I would keep it as this is item number, and then yeah, I mean in this item builder function we have this index which we
Index.
can use it. So I'm just passing the index plus one because index starts from zero, right? And I want the first one to be one. So yeah, this displayed a list of these tile widgets. Starting from this is item number one up to this is item number 20 as the item count is 20 here. Okay. And yeah, if you want to have a proper formatting of your document, of your dart file, then please ensure that you have a comma after this parenthesis. So yeah, it gave a proper formatting. Okay, so this was it. And now uh, I would show you how you would create a notes app using this stateful and stateless widget. Using this stateful and stateless widgets. So first of all, I would like to have this widget as a stateless widget. Uh,
Hmm.
so yeah, I will just remove it and then create a new widget. Okay. And yes, if you want to get a parameter inside a stateless widget, then there is just simply this one class in which you have to mention the parameter. And then in its constructor, you just have to pass it. So yeah, in stateless widget, it is much easier. Also. And inside this, I would pass a list style, which would have a title parameter, in which I would pass a text, which would have this text. It will simply show this text. So uh, this would simply be the same as it was earlier. So yeah, as you can see. So now what I will do is I will create a list of strings. I would call this list as items, and initially I would have this as first item I want to have is just a hello. Okay, and yeah, I would want this to be a stateful widget. So yeah, I simply just have your cursor on the stateless widget and then press Alt Enter in case of Android Studio and Control Dot in case of VS Code. Then you will be shown this action of converting this widget to a stateful widget. So yeah, that's how it just converted into a stateful widget. And in this widget, I would just simply uh, okay. So in this item count, I would have it as the length of the list of these items list. Okay, and as a text, I would have it as the item at that index. Okay. So yeah, I mean, you would be thinking that why have I placed an underscore here, right? So if you have underscore just before the name of the parameter, then it would make that sorry in front of a variable name, then it will make that variable as private. So this
Private.
variable yeah, so this variable won't be won't be able to access in another classes. So that was that. So let me just save it. And yeah, now we only have one tile that is hello since we are having item count as the length of this items list, and the builder is returning the item at that index. So if I create more items, Yeah, if I insert more strings in this, so it will be displayed here. So, so yeah, but the thing is, no user is going to manually go to the code and enter an item here, right? So what I will do is, uh, I will just enclose it within a stack widget. Okay, and what I
Stack
will do.
is, as you might have heard about Stack, it's simple, just like a stack of widgets you can keep one on top of the other, something like that.
Yeah, in a column you can have widgets in a column, in a row you can have widgets in a row, and similarly in a stack you can have widgets as a stack with on top of each other. So in stack the thing is the widgets that are at the top. I mean, suppose I have a list view here and then I have a container here, then the thing in stack would be like this container would be placed above this list view. So if I have a sized box here, so in this case, the sized box will be at the bottom of the stack, and then there would be list view, and then there would be container. So just keep this thing in mind that order of children's matter in a stack. Okay. So in this container, I want to pass a width as the width of this whole scaffold page. So you can pass it as this media query dot of context dot size dot width. It will just make this container have the width of this scaffold, and as a height I will just pass it as 120, just a random number. You can just try out anything that you like. And I will give a decoration. So the color I would like to have is a white color, and then I would even like to have it with some shadows. So a box shadow parameter takes an array of shadows or an array of box shadows, and a box shadow takes parameters offset. I want the shadow to be I mean, if I have this container here, then I would like to the shadow to be like this. So that would be an offset of negative something in x and negative something in y. So yeah, I will just simply make it as a minus one x and minus one y, and then I will give a spread radius. Suppose I want to give a spread radius of 2, and then a blur radius of 20, and then I can even give a color to this shadow. Here I would like to just simply give a black 26 color. So this black 26 color is a black color with 26% opacity. So yeah, so here is this widget. So yeah, it is on top of the list queue. And what I would like to have is I would like to have this widget as at the bottom of the scaffold. So I will just enclose this container with a positioned widget, and in the positioned widget takes a left top, right bottom, left top, right bottom. Yes, yes. So if you can pass any of these properties. So if I pass bottom uh, bottom as 0, then what it will do is it will ensure that the distance between this widget and the bottom of the scaffold is 0. So in that way I can have this widget at the bottom of the scaffold. And yeah, to make it even more beautiful, I would like to have a border radius. Mm, What was that? I'm outside of box decoration. So yeah, I just forgot what was the exact parameter name. So I can just simply hover over this
Yeah,
and I can see it is border radius. So yeah, and I would like to have a border radius in such a way that only the top corners are rounded. So there is a constructor of radius which is border radius dot only, in which I would just pass this top right to be um, a circular radius of radius 24, and then a top left to be the same. So yeah, as you can see, this is now rounded a bit, and now, yeah, so you must have seen that there is this squiggle line under this box decoration and all of that, right? So this is just saying that this whole thing is a constant, so you should add a constant modifier to it. And yeah, I mean, it is a great practice to add this constant modifier, as it will just speed up your app. So yeah, that's it. So what I would like to have is I would like to have a text to field here with a button here, and in which you just can enter anything that you want in this text field, and then when you click the button here, that thing would be entered in this list. So to first to have a text field, you need a text field controller. So you will just create a text editing controller. So you will just create one. I will name it as txt controller. So yeah, this is how you would create it, and you have to declare it within this class that extends the state. Okay, and now you are good to go to how to create a text field. But the thing is, inside this container, I would have a text field and also have a button. So what I can use is I can use the row widget here, and as children, I will pass a text field which would have this txt controller as its controller parameter. And the thing with the text field is it tries to occupy whatever area is available to it. So I would just simply enclose it with a sized box so that it doesn't show some weird behavior. Okay, and in this width, I would like to have it a width of 70% of the width available. So I will just simply write a media query dot of context dot size dot width into 0.7. So it will do what it will do is it will just get the width of the scaffold and just take a 70% of that width, and as a height, just let me pass uh, what I will pass 30. Okay, so I just passed it as 30, and then I would like to have a button here. So I just created an elevator button, and as a child to it, I will pass a text which would simply read out as add. So yeah, I would add this constant modifier here too, and then I would just format this thing. Okay, so on clicking this add button, what I will do is I will just take the text which is in this controller and then add it to the items list that we created. Where it is? Yeah, this list. Okay, so I will just simply write items dot add, and then uh, txt controller dot text. So yeah, that's how you will add a text. So as you can see, here is a text field and here is a button. And but the thing is, it is looking very weird. So first of all, just let me introduce a sized box to have a little bit of space in between this both. And let me just keep it as 12. And yeah, this would also be a constant. And in this row, I will just have this main axis alignment as main axis alignment dot center. So what it will do is it will just display all the children in the center. And as discussed, the main axis of the row is this one, and the cross axis is this one, and the opposite for a column, right? So yeah, it is looking much more beautiful. So I will just simply add add an item here. So let me just click on add. Okay, but as you have seen, okay, so this has been added, but when the keyboard is open and at that time I'm clicking on add, it is not adding. This is because if you want to have the change displayed just at the moment, then you have to pass. You have to make that changes in a set state method. So I will just simply take this line and have it in this set state method. I will just restart this app now. Okay, so let me just add my name here. So yeah, I just added it. So what it does is, if you are not writing this line in this set state method, then the changes would appear only when the widget will be redrawn. In the case earlier, the widget redrawn when we just hide the keyboard. But yeah, we don't want that behavior, so we will just have it in the set state method. Okay, and yeah, so this is how you can create a basic notes app. But to make it even more better, what we can do is, there can be some nodes that are more important than others. So we will create an option to just have a note as favorite, right? So for that, we will just convert this tile to a stateful widget, and then have a boolean here is favorite, which initially would be false, right? And in the list style, we would just mention a trailing widget to be an icon, which would be icons dot favorite. Okay. Mm, just let me see it. Yeah, I would like to have it as this one. And what and so just to have a difference between favorite note and a not favorite note, you would have the color to be different for a favorite note and a not favorite note. So if the note is favorite, then we would have the color as red, and then if it is not favorite, then we would just simply have the color as gray. So here you can see that we have used these ternary operators, which we just made you learn in the first session. So yeah, I will just reformat this code, and yeah, so this must have to be a icon button, and then as an icon. Then an icon button has an on pressed functionality, and in this on pressed method I will just have a set state method, and this stat and what this set state method will do is it will just negate his favorite. So if initially his favorite is false, then it will be uh, made as true, and if it is true, then it will be made as false. So yeah, and I will just format this code and I will run it. I will just restart this app, and then yes, if I want to favorite these items, then I can just simply press here, and then yes, you can see that the color has been changed to red, right? So yeah, that's the magic of stateful widgets. And you can just see the changes without the widget being redrawn by just mentioning the change in this set state method. Okay, and one bonus thing that we want to show you is uh, I want to show you a basic animation here. So what I will do is just enclose this, sorry, wrap this widget with another widget which is known as animated scale. So what this animated scale widget does is it requires an argument scale and an argument duration. In the duration, you can pass any duration that you want. So here I think that if we just have the animation for 200 milliseconds, then it would appear to be nice. And in this scale thing, what I will do is if it is set as favorite, then the scale will be 1.1. Otherwise, the scale would be 1. Okay. Then I will just restart this up, and when I click here, then you can see that uh, it is enlarging a bit. So let me just increase the scale to 1.2. Maybe then you can see it more clearly. So yeah, and you can just play around with this duration and all that to have the perfect animation that you want. Suppose I make it 1.5. So yeah, as the duration is a bit longer, then so you would be seeing this animation to be not too great. So yeah, I will just make it 200 again. So yeah, this is looking much better. And then yeah, I mean I can just add anything to this, and then just favorite anything that I want. So that was about how you would create a notes app using stateful and stateless widget in Flutter. So I hope you like this. And if you have any
Also,
questions, yeah,
if you are thinking that why are the items disappearing after refreshing the app, that's because we are not saving the things locally, and it's just for that period of time, right? For just for that duration. So yeah,
yeah,
you can further learn how you can save these things, the items locally, and make a fully fledged note taking app after this.
yeah. So that is up to you. I mean, you can just try to create that app, and if you have any doubts, then we will just create a WhatsApp group, and you can ask your doubts in that. We would be, uh, it would be great. It would be great for us to help you out. I mean, so yeah, that was a notes app for you, and yeah, so this was it. I mean, if, do you want to add something, Shishoya?
No, not really. What is the next thing that we're doing?
The next thing that we are going to learn is adding navigation to our app and adding animations. Okay, so let me be clear that this was a very basic animation. In the next session, we would learn about adding some very complex animations in our app.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Can you hear me?
Just wait a minute. I was trying to do something, or maybe we can do it in the next session, right?
Oh, yeah. We would be having
So
some. Maybe your internet is a bit lagging. Can you just repeat what you
yeah,
said?
yes,
Yeah, now it is audible.
yeah. So nothing that I just wanted to show you is just by using the stateful widgets, how we can make a simple snake game. I think that we can do in the next session also. So no need to worry about it. Is it lagging a lot from my side?
Uh, I mean, it is better now. Yeah, it's okay. I mean, anyway, the session is ended, and yes, if you have any doubts, then you can just uh, pre- enter those
Yeah,
doubts in the comment
just write
section.
in the comments.
Yeah, we are reading right now the comments, and if even if you have some suggestions, then even then you can write it here.
Hmm.
So I think that's it. I
Let's
mean,
just wait for a minute and then end the. Yeah, then.
yeah.
Actually, I was just trying to implement a simple stateful widget thing. I wanted to show that, but I don't know if it will work in the first time itself.
It's okay. I mean, we will show it in the next session.
Yeah, we can do that also. Just wait a minute. Let it. Wait. The Gradle is running right now. Just wait 2 minutes. We'll end it. Mostly we'll end it, but if it works, then I'll show it.
Okay.
No issue.
Gradle takes a long time to load.
Yeah, exactly.
So, meanwhile, I will
And
show
this,
you something. Can I show something else meanwhile? So,
yeah, you
yeah.
can show.
Yeah, so you can just download this Flutter Gallery app from Play Store. It has some great apps whose code also is available on GitHub. And yes, I mean, you can learn a lot from these apps. The Shrine app that I showed earlier, it is also available here. So yeah, I mean, it has a very great animations and all that. Like you just saw that.
Hmm.
Yeah, this whole thing is
I
coming
thought
down and is
you
running.
made that completely, and I was shocked.
No, 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 that's not me. So yeah, I mean, we have some great apps here. You can just check this app out. This Flutter Gallery. It is made by the Flutter developers, and it is available on GitHub. Even you can contribute to these apps if you want. And here you can even just see some widgets. For example, a slider widget, iOS style slider widget. If you want to just see a switch just like you have in iOS, and even you can see the material widgets. Uh, so yeah, the cards. So yeah, these are some awesome cards. And then yeah, these are all the widgets that you can just check out. Yeah, just check this app out and yeah, just fill that Google form if you have not filled it.
Yeah, I
Something
think
interesting
we
will
will
be.
do the session. I mean, I'll show that the next time on. It's taking a lot of time. So,
Yeah, yeah, okay, okay, that's cool. So yes, so we are just ending this session. There were no doubts here, so yeah, I
yeah,
think
no
there are
problem.
no doubts. So yeah, I will just simply end this broadcast.
Yes. Bye bye.